Jens, how are you doing?
Actually, third day of the show. I'm doing excellent. My voice is a little dry, but I'm doing excellent. Fantastic show.
Yeah, it's been amazing. I mean, the energy here is contagious. You know, after been, I think, it's been 4 years since electronica, and we're here.
Yeah.
But a lot has changed also for you and your company and what's going on. I mean,
Yeah. If I look back, 4 years ago, we introduced Source Engine to the market, and now 4 years later, we grew so fast and so quick. And yeah, I'm really proud to see all the customers and the excitement that the customers have with us in these tough times. So I'm pretty proud, and I'm on the other hand, I'm really humble because I think that nobody expected that.
yeah, I mean, I can take it back as a question. It's like, sit back 7 years ago, you know, coming up to this, the idea and vision, you know, what, on that, just take a standpoint back 7 years ago, what was your vision and future of innovation of the supply chain you're trying to do?
You know, I'm in this business for a long time,
Right.
and I worked for other distributors. And what I realized is that nobody really challenges the status quo. And I thought I can do better for the customers,
Yeah.
but I was not able to do that in my previous environment. So I thought if I start my own company, that's the opportunity to do it better. And I think that's the driver, the motivation behind it. And I think we did a lot of things better than maybe other companies in the last 7 years.
You know, it's not only the building, having a vision, but it's also surrounding ourselves with talent and leadership. So what are some of like the traits you thought through your leadership that you'll be able to attract and bring such a good team to grow at such a rapid pace in an industry that it's very difficult to go from 7 years ago from zero to close to $1 billion company?
Yes. But you know, human capital actually is the highest level of commitment you can have from your people. A lot of people on this booth in our company worked with me in previous companies. I trusted them, they trusted me. And if you want to scale, you need trust, because you cannot micromanage if you want to scale. And I think I was lucky that the people shared my vision, that the people were also not happy with the status quo they had. They joined Sourceability, and we started writing.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable to see that, and the people and the environment, the culture that you've created through that. You know, really, what are some of like the values that you breathe into your people?
You know, as I said, the human capital, these are my people. Like, it's really, a lot of people talk about family, but for me, it's my family. A lot of my salespeople, I met them when they were singles. Now they have 2 or 3 kids, they are married, they introduced me to their family. And I think you have to create this relationship between being a founder and a leader and still being part of the team. And I'm always part of the team, and I think that's what they also respect, and what makes them also, I guess, proud to be the other part of that team.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, I can feel it. I feel it's a family. Everybody's so, you know, collaboration, happy, smiling, it works together, which really brings that, again, moving forward and growing together. Because it's not, again, I can see it's not all about the leader, it's all about everybody else. You're lifting everybody else up, so it's great. So taking it back to Sourceability, I mean, I can see one of your visions was technology and investing into digital assets and innovating. So where did those ideas come that you saw there was something missing in the industry that you can make the change and develop?
Okay, the core of our business as a distributor is quoting.
Yeah.
And I was not happy in the last 25 years how we or everyone quotes the customer. Because you get a request for a quote, they submit it to you, and then quoting took days or weeks. And I thought from other industries, we should be able to quote in real time, and only technology can provide that. And that was also kind of scary for my people who worked with me, because they thought, do I still have a job? Yeah, they will, because you still need these relationships, and electronica shows how fantastic it is after 4 years to meet people, to hug people, and to smile together. So, and the technology, the underlying technology now enables us to quote in real time. And that was my goal, to be able to provide a quote in a second or in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to building that digital infrastructure, and you're really kind of democratizing and sharing the data throughout your team, but to the people. I mean, you've developed you have source engine, you have data link, and you have quote engine, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 different tools.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me this difference between those 3 tools and what's the objective of that?
The source engine was the idea of marketplace.
Okay.
We bring the demand together with the supply.
Mm-hmm.
And then we learned, okay, people want to work with their bill of materials, and most of the companies don't really have the tools. They're using spreadsheets.
Correct,
So that's where quote engine became part of source engine. We said we need a tool that people can upload their bill of materials. They take them from Excel or whatever they use into a BOM management tool. Yeah. And on top, then we learned, okay, if we now would have analytics to see, okay, I uploaded my demand, I have quotes.
Yeah.
Is my quote competitive? Is my quote not competitive? So now we said, okay, we have all the data. Yeah. I think we probably have the best data if we talk about transactional data in the industry, and we make that available to the customer. So, and there might be other products in the pipeline, because I always call it kind of a collateral. You develop something, then you say, okay, if I would have this on top, it would be fantastic. And that's how it started. Everything started with source engine.
Yeah, and it's branched off to having a lot of data analytics. And again, I call it democratizing the level and giving that information not back to the customers, but everybody out in industry. I mean, I think you've built some verticals of not just being a solution provider, supply chain provider, but also adding value to the customer. You guys have the franchise lines. You guys doing some design solutions now.
We do, yeah.
You know, so what are some of the investments you see like going forward, that some of the objectives for the next 2 to 3 years that you guys are doing?
I think where we see struggle in our industry is the implementation into the customer's system.
Yeah. Okay.
The customers are used to work with their systems. If it's their ERP system or PLM system or design system, EDA tools. And the goal is to make that data available in their infrastructure. Okay. So we are working really hard now to provide the best way and the easiest way to integrate. And we ourselves, we're going to implement Oracle in January. Okay. So we were our own guinea pig. We said, okay, we have an app, and that app must be able to just plug into Oracle. Right. And it does, which means now that's really interesting for all other Oracle customers, because we make it available as an app in the Oracle store, so people can have all that information and that transaction in their Oracle system. So the next step then probably, hopefully, is SAP, Info, all the other ERP systems.
I mean, again, that's the forefront of thinking of digital. Like, what do we create the apps? Because again, today's everything data, but everything, as compute has gotten cheaper and cheaper, you can build all this amazing technology and software and develop with your developers and technology. Because I know, like, how do we start with? You know, everybody, I mean, listening to us, like, where do I start? I want to build a portal. Even as a customer, because manufacturing is a very traditional business. Not all I would say 90% of companies don't have all this advanced technology.
No,
they work off spreadsheets, but I think building a portal for that customer, adding the value, saying, you know what, we understand you're having difficulties, but we can be a value service provider, and you can plug in the sourceability, and the system could do it for you.
I had a discussion here on the show with one of the top 5 franchise distributors. They invested a lot of money in their digital transformation in 2018, 2019, and most of that money got lost because they did not have the specialists. And I said, look, you can take my technology. I'm not charging you for the implementation. I'm charging you after, if you are happy on the transactional level. No investment required. I did the investment. I do the investment for our customers and our suppliers because I understand. When we started, we said, okay, I have no idea about programming or architecture of software. So we sourced it out. We had a company who really led us through this process, and I know how painful it is. So now we offer it that our customers, our suppliers, our competitors, we invite them to use our technology. We made the investment, but we're willing to share it. At the end of the day, when there's a lot of transaction on the tools, on the platform, this is then where we try to take a little part and make money.
I mean, that kind of like that SaaS model you would call software as a service, but you're creating a service out of the software that you have, right? And that transaction is where the business happens.
It doesn't have to be a SaaS model. You know, and this is also what we're talking about.
Correct.
Do I have to sell the seed, or do I say, okay, if you make a transaction, I take a portion of the transaction? not a big one, but if I have a lot of transactions, I can live off a small portion.
Yeah, I mean, it comes to the volume of it. And as we are in this digital revolution, like technology, the pandemic has really accelerated, as we've all felt, accelerated. So what do you see, outside next year, I would say, setting supply chain disruption aside, what do you see could be a potential disruptors moving forward in 2023, 2024?
First of all, I think the market is not going back to normal. If you see the investments, 5G, all the sensors, autonomous driving, there will be much higher demand in 5 years than we had 5 years ago. So, and I think the supply chain has to get used to that. So now we have new players in the market that never thought about buying electronic components, like the automotive companies, who became customers of us, which was impossible even to think about years ago because they had their tier ones. Going forward, we have no standards. And I think who's first to create a good standard, an affordable standard, and easy to handle standard will be probably then setting a standard for the industry where people agree to work on it. Our industry still is very, very diversified and spread, and we'll see. I hope we can play a role in that. There's other players that I admire, and I hope they are successful because it helps everyone to improve the supply chain.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I was talking about that, the digital infrastructure and also digital branding in the company. At Sourceability, as you can see, you guys have really digital branded. So how important the forefront was your digital brand of the company and building the brand of the softwares and tools?
Yeah. When you start a company, you have to find the unique selling point and the differentiator. And I think the idea and the vision already was a differentiator. But then you have to tell it to the world. You got to tell the people what's the difference. And a lot of customers that are here today, in the last couple of days, when I started the company and I was there and said, hey, I would become part of your vendor list. And they said, oh, Jens, we have so many suppliers, whatever. But we told them about the idea, and then they saw, oh, wow, they deliver. They start delivering, so it becomes true. And then we have the quality behind. Also, you can still ship product, you still have to do the basics. And I think that mixture is unique. And it's interesting, we had a meeting on Monday and I talked to my guys, they said, Source Engine is a differentiator to get into the customer. Even if the customer might not use it in the first month or the first year. It's just a differentiator.
Well, it builds that visibility, the credibility, builds opportunity. So you're putting yourself out there, not asking for anything in return, but saying, okay, use the system is there to build that presence. And again, people don't realize it's not you give, it's like build that credibility, giving something. I can see really what you've done in Sourceability is giving information back to the industry, not asking for anything.
You're not hiding.
You're not hiding.
No secrets. I think this is also something people are not used to. Usually you would try to hide your data, your uniqueness. I grew up in this industry, and this is where I see the opportunity. You can hide your stuff. You can try to do everything in a secret corner, and you might be successful with it, but it's hard really to scale. And I think if everyone knows and everyone is exciting and they jump on the train, then we can scale.
As I always say, is we're only going to grow together. We cannot grow isolated in our echo chambers and move forward. And I always tell my people, I'm like, we have to collaborate more and learn from each other. Absolutely. And that's how that brain power comes to that. So moving forward on this, really, what do you see, because right now the labor is a labor challenge right now, Marcus. So what do you see like the new generation that you're bringing new talent? What are some of the points that you say like how to embody and bring the awareness to the industry to bring more engineers, more supply chain professionals into the industry?
Actually, I see when we hire new people, younger people, they went through a different education. Like I did or my generation. Which I also think is an opportunity because they think different. And I can't really tell you where we will be in 10 years. What I can tell you is that the younger generation also has a high pace, a digital pace. They are used to more usage of digital products, starting from the cell phone, the tablet, gaming, whatever. And this will inspire us. Where it really leads, where it'll be in 5 years or in 10 years, I don't know. And that's also, I think, is exciting because it's part of a journey. And sometimes you have to take a detour to get where you want to get.
Yeah, that really brings it to the aspects like the new generations. they think different, new talent, but it's not like they have to come to our end. We have to go to them and see what embodies them, inspire them to develop, because the creativity is there, and inspiring that to really facilitate it. It's really fascinating where we go in this digital world and how this new generation is making the shift fast.
Let me give you an example. So a few months ago, some of my team members from what we call HR came to me and say, hey Jens, we need a guy who's just taking care of people and culture.
People,
I said, oh, yeah, we have to have someone who pampers our employees. Something totally new to me. I heard about it. I heard in startups and in companies that come and go. And so I said, okay, what is that person going to do? And what I learned now, he started on October 1st is we were able to implement in our 14 offices the same onboarding of people, sharing on our motivation, which we did not. I think if you would have started with sociability in Hong Kong, your onboarding was different than in Miami or in Irvine.
Yeah.
So, and that's what my generation has to learn. They expect that they have a lead to a certain point, but then they want to be kind of creative and free. And I think as an employer, this is the environment that you have to make available to be successful. I learn a lot. Now we have a manager for people and culture, and I love him. It's a great, if you understand what that changes in your company, it's a great idea. But I never thought about it 6 months ago.
Yeah, and that's why I'm bringing up the story is how do you unify message? Because it's cultures. I mean, I usually do business in multi-different, countries, and the cultures are different. And people blame, it's just their culture. Yeah. Actually, it's not. I mean, as you said, you're proving the point is you're building onboarding, the value and the mission of the company, and everybody has the same message, understands, and also facilitate them to be creative and to grow. And you're not there, and that's where the creativity comes about. And that's what I can see when you're stimulating at Sourceability, is creating that. So it's extremely fascinating what we've done, and it's not a disruption, but it's innovation. You are innovating. Yeah,
I don't like the word disruption.
It's innovating. It's innovating forward and leading by example.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think if you walk around and you look around, not only here at the show where you meet 50 people or 60 of our people, even if you go remote into smaller offices, you will really see, yes, there is a core message, there is a core feeling, but there's also the individual. And if you bring that together, then people can grow, and you as a company grow with your people. Yeah,
that's great. So as we come to a close, I want to ask you some leadership questions. As a leader, I have a few questions that I want to ask you from this that really, as an aspect of it can be a phrase, a sentence. Just give me a quick accent of a rapid fire question that I have for you. So as a leadership in your history, so what is the best advice you've ever received?
The best advice that I ever received, that you have much more capabilities than you think. You can do much better than you think yourself you can do.
Okay.
And people advised me, and this company is proof. I never thought I can start a company and take it to where we are today.
Yeah. So what's the most significant risk you've ever taken?
Becoming a dad.
I can say, and people really don't talk about their failures, but what do you think was your biggest failure during this journey?
I think the biggest failure was that I was not patient. That I had, when you get older and you have some experience, it comes also with some patience. Being impatient is really bad.
That really comes the thing is I think we all have to understand within oneself and the errors we have, and that's why I love people, but these are from true leaders to understand that. I really appreciate you saying that. If you can create, I would say, one law that everybody would have to follow, what would it be?
The law of love.
I love it. I love it. I love it, Jens. I love it.
It's so easy. People make, I think, they make the environment. If love is around, it's much easier than if there's no love or even there's hate.
Well, I love it, Jens. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. This is unbelievable.
Yeah. Thanks for coming here. I think we shared a really good time in the last couple of days, and I'm happy to share this experience and to make you part of that journey.
Yeah, you've been an amazing host, first class, and I really appreciate it. You guys check out Sourceability and SourceEngine.com. This is the man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Awesome. That's it.
Good.
You're good.
Cheers.
Yeah.